Okay, in this video you see we have cross-sectional arc geometry on the screen already. What we want to do is go ahead and demonstrate the cross-sectional surface generating function in Bobcat version 20. By doing this, what we need to do is go up to the Solids menu and select Surface Creation, and then we select Cross-Section. By selecting the Next button, what this does is that automatically puts us into selection mode, actually chain selection mode. So we click on the first cross-section. You'll notice the directional arrow at the midpoint of this arc will go in either or direction. Point it in the direction of your choice, click your left mouse button one time and then your right mouse button. This allows you to move on to the next piece of geometry. What you want to do is you want to make sure that these geometry pieces, when you select them, they're all going in the same direction in proper sequence. Left click, right click. Select your geometry, same direction, left click, right click. And you can go through each of these, and then when you're done, all you have to do is right click your mouse one more time to bring up the cross-section surface box, as you can see here. This gives you the ability to actually equalize the geometry if the chains are unequal and you want to equalize them. We have a linear option selected on converting to spline. By selecting OK, this automatically generates our cross-sectional surface, as you can see there. By selecting the surface, and then selecting Render, that allows you to actually render it. Now, in this particular case, there's actually an easier, faster way of selecting your geometry. Because this is an object action, action-object type function, you can actually use pre-selected geometry. Simply hold down your Shift key and select the ends of each cross-sectional chain, just like I'm doing here. When finished, go to the Solids menu, Surface Creation, Cross-Section, and select Next. This automatically brings up your cross-section surface box. Select OK. There's your surface. Now let's go ahead and open up the cam. By selecting our cam icon, once again that's the green icon, as you can see right there. Or you can go to the Special NC Cam menu and choose Insert NC. Here we have our Haas VF Series post. By clicking OK, that automatically opens the cam. We'll turn our 3D button on. And now let's go ahead and select it. We have a different color selected, light blue. We'll go to the Solids menu and choose Generate Toolpath. This brings up our Planar Finish Options box. Now, here we enter in our tool diameter and the option for using the tool center or tool tip, our step over distance, which is half the distance of the size of our diameter in this particular case, and we'll enter in a toolpath angle of 90 degrees. Okay. Alternate directions, click Next, and this brings up our toolpath extents. Now, as in earlier training products you've probably seen already, the Bobcat toolpath extents box gives you the ability to choose a Z extent. If you want to use the full part, that's fine, or you can actually specify a top of job and bottom of job. In this case, in version 20, we've added the ability to go to part edge, which actually brings the tool across the surface so that it does not exceed that surface's boundary. Click Generate. There's our toolpath. As you can see, it instantly generated our toolpath across the top and gave us our solid tool depth settings box. This gives us our rapid plane for clearance and our material top, and if we want to do automatic roughing, we can as well. By selecting OK, that automatically generated our G-code program. Now we can hold down the Control key and select the surface. And select the surface there. We can go to Solids and choose Render, and there you go. You can visually see your toolpath and your surface. Okay. Alright, let's exit out of the cam here. Undo this. And let's exit out of this file altogether. We'll go to File, Open. This time let's select a different cross-section example. Okay. Here is a cross-section geometry on the screen. As you can see, there's several pieces of several chains here. And what we want to do is we want to hold down the Shift key and click on each end in proper sequence, going down, as you can see here. Now we can go to the Solids menu, Surface Creation, Cross Section, and click Next. This brings up our cross-section surface box once again. Now what I want to demonstrate to you here is the Smooth option. What this does is this takes our geometry that we have on the screen and creates the surface as if we were using converted spline geometry. By selecting OK, that creates the surface that you can see here that isn't actually quite right. By rendering this, you can see that we have some curves here that are actually unwanted. So let's close this out, select the Undo button. Our geometry is still selected. Now let's go back to Solids, Surface Creation, Cross Section, and click Next. And now let's choose the Equalize function and enter in a value of 0.25. We're going to equalize these chains. By selecting OK, this now creates a different type of surface that actually conforms more to the geometry that we actually had originally. Solids and Render. And as you can see, that gives us an even better result. This function is actually quite easy and quite flexible. Now we'll go up here to Solids, choose Generate Toolpath. We'll use the same tool that we used here. Click Next. This time we'll use Full Part. Generate. And you can see our toolpath goes ahead and creates itself here. We hold down our Shift key and select one of the edge lines of the actual surface, and now we can render this model with the toolpath that we've generated over the top of it. Clean toolpath, clean surface. Okay. Alright, so that's the cross-section surface function and how to generate toolpath as well. Now if you wanted to, with this toolpath here selected, we simply open up the CAM end of our software, choose our post, unselect the surface but leave the toolpath selected, select our 3D button, and now we can use the auto cut function, which is also located in the machine menu. And there you go. There's our G-code. Quite easy. Okay, so that's the cross-section surface function.